Hola! Welcome to Butterfly Spanish. Me llamo Ana, and in today's lesson, en la clase de hoy, we're going to learn how to address someone in Spanish. Well, in Spanish, there are two ways of addressing someone. Unlike English, that they use you, in Spanish we have tú or usted. And why am I doing this? Well, because we differentiate these two subject pronouns. Because tú is casual, informal, friendly, and usted is formal, is polite, it shows respect, respeto. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Tú, usted. All right, just let me know how do you want me to address you. But the way we're gonna do this class, we're gonna go first on to review some people you should address as tú, some people you should address as usted, and then I'm gonna give you some tips to have in your mind before addressing someone and not to make mistakes. And I'm gonna give you some good phrases, and after we're going to understand and learn the nature of these subject pronouns, okay? And I'm going to give you examples with verbs and to see how it works, those subject pronouns, what we work with these verbs. Okay, well, we're going to start here. Vamos a empezar. We're going to start here, aquí. And to start, as I said before, tú. Tú is informal. And it's informal, but it's correct. It is friendly. It is casual. Tú is used to talk to your siblings. Tu hermano, brother. Tu hermana, sister. Now note here, I'm not pronouncing the H because the H in Spanish is silent. Yes, it is silent. So, tu hermano, tu hermana. A child. You address with tú a child because, well, unless it's a child and maybe it's the king of the world, but we don't have like the kings of the world are children. So you refer to them as tú, not as usted. Niño, boy, niña. This is boy and girl with tú. Primo o prima, cousin, tú. So what do you think about this? I think it's very easy to make the difference, right? Here is familiar people, people that you are familiar with, people that you know, people that are around you that are on the same of the same age, okay, or younger, and that, well, you respect them as people, but they don't deserve they don't have any hierarchy above you. Okay, they are on your same level. So it's age, respect, and hierarchy. Jerarquía, respeto, y edad. So same age, hierarchy. You know, they are not your subordinates, but they are not your bosses either. So you use tú. Muy bien. Y ahora, usted. When do you use usted? Well, in Spanish, we use usted when, first of all, when you're talking in business, they use a lot usted because it shows more politeness. So, jefe or jefa, your boss, jefa when it's a woman, jefe when it's a man, boss, you usually talk to this person as usted. Okay? Abuelo, abuela, grandparents. Oh, I didn't finish writing it. Okay, I'm not going to write it. Grandparents, grandfather, grandmother. Abuelo y abuela. Usted. Why? Because they are not on this, like they are not the same age as you. That's why they are your grandparents, tus abuelos. So you refer to them as usted. I have rarely heard someone that addresses their grandparents as tú. Maybe. I have never heard it. I suggest usted. Maestro or maestra, I am your teacher. So you address me as usted. Because I'm not your friend, I'm your teacher. So you have to respect me. And so you use usted. A professor in university, usted. And very important, like most importantly, people with titles, doctors, architects, engineers, you usually address them as usted. Usted es el doctor Martínez. ¿Ok? Él es el doctor Martínez. No, tú eres el doctor Martínez. No. Usually, people with titles, personas con títulos de estudiosos, es con usted. But don't go yet. Don't stop this lesson. You gotta learn these two or usted. So stay there. And now, you have any... I drew this Christmas tree. Árbol de Navidad. No, it's not a Christmas tree. I'm gonna show you because if you're here, okay, this person below you is tú, but above you is usted in the business place, okay? My boss is usted, my secretary, my assistant, it's tú. Now, I'm gonna give you a tip. I worked for quite a while in a corporation. And so, yes, we use usted as respect to the big bosses. However, in the office, like on the same level, on the same floor, we became friends. I mean, we stayed together muchas horas together. So they become your friends. With time, a person in work or in your life that you might start addressing as usted is going to become a tú eventually. Okay? A lot of people, when you are addressing them as usted, they are going to tell you, you can speak to me with tú, they'll say, which means, puedes tutearme. Puedes tutearme. That's like a phrase, like a general common phrase. But there's another phrase. Puedes hablarme de tú, which means you can use the tú to address me. A lot of people are going to say that. Puedes hablarme de tú. Okay? You don't have to use usted with me. You can address me with tú. Okay. Bueno, ahora, why? Why do we use tú or usted? Well, I guess that's a Latin American tradition. I have some friends from Colombia that they speak with usted to almost a lot of people. But most friends from all over Latin America, most friends I have, they use both, tú or usted. Now, how do we know what is this? Like, when am I going to use tú, usted, blah, blah, you're just talking, blah, blah, blah. Well, if we know, where is the tú? Tú is the second person, the second subject pronoun of the subject pronouns, okay? Yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos y ellas, okay? And tú está aquí, usted está aquí. Ustedes is the plural of both tú and usted. So that means tú, you are one. Tú. Usted is one. But if you are with your friends, you become ustedes. Okay, ustedes, plural. But when are you going to use this? Well, in Spanish, verbs have different endings. We have conjugations. For each person, we have a verb, an ending of the verb. So, for instance, de hecho, si dices tú hablas, it ends with as. For example, ¿hablas español? ¿Tú hablas español? But usted habla, it ends with a. This is as, a-s. This is a. ¿Tú hablas español? O ¿habla usted español? Now, if you see at the whiteboard, I wrote, ¿habla usted español? ¿Habla español? What is the difference here? Well, the difference is this. ¿Hablas español? I am referring to you, tú, you're in front of me. I'm saying, hablas español, you're my friend, you're my equal. So I'm asking you, hablas español, which is, tú hablas español. Why am I not using the subject pronoun? Well, because this is the only one that ends with AS. And so, I'm not talking about someone else, I'm talking to you. That is why I just use the verb, and I'm not using the subject pronoun. ¿Hablas español? Pero aquí, here, I'm saying, ¿habla usted español? Y habla español. Why? Well, because sometimes, a lot of the times, la mayor parte de las veces, you might want to use habla usted español instead of saying habla español. Why? Because de usted, él, con acento, y ella is the same ending. And so, if both end with a, if both end with a, you're not gonna say habla español. Well, yeah, you can understand me if you're in front of me. ¿Hablas español? Hey, tú, ¿hablas español? Oiga usted, ¿habla español? Well, because we can be speaking to about him or about her. How come? Because él, he, and ella, she, end with the same ending as usted. Did you get it? That is why it could be confusing if you just use the verb for usted. That is why you want to use the usted. And you don't want to use the tú here, because the tú is very clear, is you, informal, casual, friendly. And usted, I can be talking about you to you, or I can be talking about him or he, and about she. So that is why I'm telling you, use usted, but do not use tú, because everybody will understand you're using the tú, hablas, y usted habla o él habla. That is why I suggest you use the usted, but not use the tú. Okay, I hope this is clear. It's a little bit tricky here, but it's easy. Just remember this part. Tú, you don't have to use it. You don't have to put it there. Usted, it's preferable. Es preferible. Muy bien. Y ahora, let's finish our lesson, nuestra clase. And the way we're going to finish it is, when you say thank you, there are two ways, dos maneras. There are two ways, dos maneras de decir gracias. If I say gracias, it's thanks, thank you, general. But if I want to say thanks to you, and that you is tú or usted. Well, that's important. If it's a you, and you want to say thanks to you, and it's informal, friendly, casual, gracias a ti, a ti. If it's respect, you're above my level, you're my boss, or you're a doctor, or you have someone titled, I don't know, an architect, whatever title you have. Gracias a usted. It's not the general thank you. It is gracias a ti, mi amigo, o gracias a usted, mi jefe. That's how people say it. Gracias a ti, gracias a usted. De nada. As you might know, when I reply to your comments on my channel, sometimes I say gracias a ti, because you tell me gracias, maestra, and I say no, gracias a ti, thanks to you. But sometimes I say gracias a usted, and it's just because I'm imagining you're older, or you're my grandmother, or my grandfather. No, that's not true. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I'll reply to it. And gracias a todos por ver mi canal y estudiar español con mi canal. Gracias y adiós.